Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Charles Commins, a freelance podcaster and voiceover. Thanks very much for coming back. If you can do me a favour, hit that subscribe button, would you, if you haven't already done so, and like this video too. Apparently it helps the YouTube gods let other people see my videos. I don't know if it's true, but let's find out. On today's episode, I'm going to be talking about intros. And in the spirit of that, let's get on with it, shall we? So at the beginning of the week, I found a brand new podcast. I really liked it. It was a subject matter that I thought was going to be really interesting. Had lots of names on it that I thought, I know those, I'm going to be interested in this. They are going to have something to say about this topic. It's going to be fab. So I pressed play, and I'll be honest with you, from the moment that it started, I was loving it. But by episode 4, I was annoyed. And the thing that I was annoyed about was the length of the intro that was on the beginning of every single episode. Trust me, it began to grate. The intro itself was fantastic. There was a lot of work had gone into it, a lot of production, and on the first listen, I'll be honest with you, it's what captured my attention. It made me want to listen to the whole episode. But by episode 4, I'd heard it 4 times, and I was now starting to just go, oh, whatever. Let me just get to the point and let me hear the new stuff. I don't want to hear the same stuff again and again and again. I want the new bits. I want the juicy new material that you've got for me on this new episode. So on episode 4, I hit the skip button. But the skip button in podcasting isn't like that really nice skip intro button that Netflix has got. No, it's skip buttons on Apple Podcasts, for instance. You basically skip forward 30 seconds at a time. Now what happens there, and it always happens to me, is that I'll press skip for 30 and as if by magic, I'll be about 10 seconds into the main content of the podcast, and that upsets me because I then have to press the skip back 15 seconds button and then I'm back listening to the end of the thing that I wanted to skip in the first place. Netflix have done it really well. The skip intro button works like a dream. Podcasting isn't quite there yet. Maybe in the future we'll have the option, but right now it's not something that we can use. So why was the intro so annoying for me? Well, as I said before, it was nothing new. It was the same thing each time. And that's fine. I've got no issue with it. As I said, it definitely hooked me in. But it was 2 minutes long. And it's a long time to have to wait, especially when you're thinking to yourself, oh, get to the good bit, I can't wait for the next episode. 2 minutes just goes on forever. So by that point, I'm just thinking to myself, I know who's on the podcast and I know what to expect in this next episode. Please get on with it. So what's the point of a podcast intro, I hear you say? Well, the point is to hook your listener in. It's to get your listener really up for watching or listening, in the case of podcasts, to your content. The last thing that you want to do is put anybody off. So the best thing that you can do in an intro is, of course, hype yourself. That's the best thing that you can do is make people believe that what they're about to hear is unmissable content. So why would you then make something that is the same and heard on every single episode that people may or may not get bored with? The fact is that will always be a possibility. Maybe not for everybody, but for some. And if you're boring people at the very beginning of an episode, you're basically setting the tone. So what do you put in an intro? You obviously need your name. Trust me, if you don't say who you are and people don't know what they're listening to, they'll switch off. And because they'll spend the whole thing going, this is great, I'm loving it, but who are you? What's actually happening here? So what you need to say is hello. That always starts off quite well, doesn't it? Hello, welcome to whatever the podcast is called. I am, give your name, and then say what the podcast is going to be about. So let's just do it this way. If you've got a business podcast, you might go, hello, welcome back to the business podcast. I'm your host, Dave. On this episode, I'm speaking to a business person. Isn't it going to be great? Stay tuned. I'll be with them in a second. Okay, that's a really cheesy way of doing it, but it gets the point across. You see that the intro is very, very simple and also very short. Now, okay, pop some music over the top of it to get a bit of interest, put some other maybe jingly bobbly bits in, and that'll just make everything sound super produced and you'll maybe hype people up to listen. But if you get straight to the point and you get straight in there for your listener will be happier than if they've got to wait 2 minutes to actually hear what you're saying. So that's it. That's my little rant for this episode kind of done. If you've got any thoughts on your intros for your podcast, then leave them in a comment below. I appreciate I've gone on a rant. I'm entitled to do that. This is my channel. But you are entitled to disagree with me. So go ahead, pop it in the comments. If there's a reason why you think that a 2-minute intro is worthwhile for you, let me know what it is. It'd be really good to have that conversation going on down below. So look, thanks very much for watching. Please hit that subscribe button, hit the like button too, and I'll see you in a fortnight for the next episode of Hit Record.